This is Raising Kings, a space where single mothers raising young Black men come to heal, grow, and lead with power. We're not just raising boys, we're raising kings. Hosted by Jennifer Tolliver, a mother, mentor, and warrior in the fight for generational change. Let's get to work.
Welcome back to the Raising Kings podcast, where we empower single mothers to raise confident and emotionally intelligent, resilient sons. I'm your host, Jennifer Tolliver, and today we are diving into a topic that affects most of us, and that is credit repair. So I'm super honored to have Ahmad from D1 Credit Repair with us today to shed some light on how we can control our financial futures. So welcome, Ahmad. We're very happy to have you on the show to help us mamas out.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate you, Jennifer. How you doing today?
Doing good, doing good.
Good.
Yep. So can you start by sharing a bit about your background and what inspired you to start D1 Credit Repair?
Okay. I did 4 years United States Marine Corps and then 24 years in law enforcement. And after that, during my last years in law enforcement, and I'll be retiring soon. I started a company, I started this company basically to help individuals fix their credit. But how it started was, so I'm going to give you a quick little backdrop. So I've been married almost 20 years. It's been 19 in May. So last May. Last week.
Okay. Congratulations, y'all.
Appreciate it. So I got 4 kids. So what we did, me and my wife did, I came to her like when my son was like 5. My first son was like 7 years old, and I said let's homeschool them because I said let's homeschool our kids and just kind of teach them our own curriculum and things like that. And I was really into basketball. I played basketball, and I'm like, I'll go to the gym with them on, every day, kind of like an Olympic type of situation, what they do with the gymnastics and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that, and and it went great. But within that, when you got a kid that's playing basketball, I had a couple of kids, they playing basketball and things like that. Life happens. And I messed my credit totally up. Me and my wife, I had a foreclosure. I had we had 2 repos. I know all the repo laws because we were going through it. So we knew like we would used to keep our daughter in the car while she go grocery shopping because we knew that they couldn't tow. So we knew that. So, so to make a long story short, we got through that, and I was able to fix my own credit. I fixed my own credit, and I was like, this is something that I could possibly do. So what I did was I started business funding. I said, but I didn't want to do credit repair though. I just wanted to do, business funding. But all of my clients had bad credit. So I was sending my clients to individuals who fixed credit. And I was like, you know what, I might as well start my own company. Mm-hmm. And I did that, and it's been successful.
That's really cool.
That's a little bit along with, I was a bit kind of long-winded with it.
You went a whole journey. We didn't learn about homeschooling. That's dope. But it's cool. Yeah, that's really good. So what are some of the challenges that you faced when starting up the credit repair business? I know you mentioned like everybody had bad credit with the thing you were doing at first. So what were some of the other issues you faced?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is when you starting like I said, I was 4 years United States Marine Corps and then 24 years law enforcement. With that type of situation, it's what we tell you to do and you do it. That's it. That's all I know. Or you telling me what to do. If my student, that's all I know. Yeah. So with entrepreneurship, it's totally different. Even though I feel like I got the solution and individuals may have the problem,
right?
You still got to sell them. You still have to tell them. You got to convince them that you're the person for them. Yeah. And within the business, it costs. So with my wife, she only gonna take so much. We only can take so much money out of our account to fund what she called my dreams. At the time. So so that was the challenge. And then I was able to fight through that, and we good now.
You good? That's good.
Yeah.
All right, so many of our listeners may feel overwhelmed by the idea of credit repair. Can you break down what credit repair entails and how your company D1 Repair kind of approaches this process?
Well, credit repair is basically, first of all, pulling your credit report. That's first, because I think the situation happened where most people just don't want to look at their credit report. I know I was like that. When my credit, I knew it was so bad. It was one of those things where it's basically like I don't even want to see it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I don't even want to see it. I ain't paid bills and I don't know how long. I don't even want to see it. So, but I think the first thing is just pulling your credit and getting over that fear and looking at it, and then you look at it and it's not really that bad, or
Right.
maybe it is that bad. But
But you can see what you got to do.
absolutely, you still got to see what you got to do. So we gonna look at your credit report, see what we got to do, and and we're going to dispute those negative items on your credit report, whether it's collections, whether it's late payments, whether it's foreclosures, whether it's bankruptcy, whatever it is, because even if you actually did those things or things like that, it's consumer law. It's laws put into place for consumers, which we are consumers. This is put in place for us to fight these things, because a lot of these things don't supposed to be on our credit report, or they're on our credit report and they wrong, but
Right.
we don't never look at it, so it don't matter. And the credit agencies get paid for everything that's on your credit report. Everybody think that these the credit Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax are government agencies, and they're not. They're just regular companies, like whatever company you got. They're like D1 Credit Repair, things like that. So they scared. So that's why I don't like calling them bureaus, because they're not. You think of government agency.
So what are they then? So
it
they position them as these really important entities, right, over your financial outlook. So what are they and what power do they have and what power do they not have over you?
Well, I mean, that'd be a whole another long story. But like, to make this long story short, they have the power to put stuff on your credit report, and as that's their company, that's what they do, and they get paid for that. But they're not a government agency. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? So, but their thing is, it's a numbers game for them. So you may, Jennifer, your credit report, hey, and you got a Discover card on there, this card, and this card, and this card. No matter what, they're getting paid by those companies to report that. Whether it's wrong, whether it's right, it may be 60 days late, 90 days late. That may not even be my card. But okay, most people are not going to dispute it, because most people don't even look at their credit report if
Right.
you
So
got bad credit. Yeah.
you're like referring to the accuracy of it. It's just like a regular business. It's not like all the checks and balances that we think it is.
Nah,
And
it's not. And most
it's,
of the
it's
time,
up to us to go.
yeah, and they know that. And they know that. So that's why they hate individuals like us and
Mhm.
companies like us who who fight these and dispute these items on the credit report. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of times we getting a lot of things deleted fast.
Right.
So because they know they're bogus. So soon as we dispute it, it's off first round. A lot of times, but don't think that it's gonna be that easy. It's not that easy.
Right. But it's easy enough. Not as easy as getting into the problem, but
Yeah, but
yeah.
that's why I also tell individuals, be patient. That's my main thing, is be patient. It could take 2 months, it could take 12 months,
Right.
14 months. It could. You just gotta be patient. It took most individuals a year or 2 years or 3 years plus to mess up your credit. Don't expect us to do it in
5 minutes.
2, 3 months.
Okay. Got it. And so how does your team use the Fair Credit Reporting Act to assist your clients?
So we know the ins and outs of it, and that's the thing. So it's just depending on your credit report. We're gonna look at it and see, because seven to 8 out of 10 credit reports have something wrong on it. Now
Right.
that's the thing with the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Everything's supposed to be accurate. That's the thing. Whether you did or not, everything's supposed to be accurate. Your name's supposed to be accurate, and it's on all three different agencies. It's your name supposed to be accurate. The time you pick, say like it's a credit card. The time you open the credit card should be the same. Everything should be the same, and a lot of time it's not. But we overlook that. What individuals overlook that, or they don't know their rights, and it just stays on there.
So if there's something that has an invalid date on it, it can be removed even if
Absolutely.
the charge is valid?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's supposed to be accurate. It's accurate. That's the thing. Accurate.
Right.
If it's not accurate, you can't tell me on TransUnion, I opened this card on May 1st, and then TransUnion, on Experian, I opened on December 1st. Which one is it? So you got
Right.
to delete that. You got to delete. It's not accurate at all.
And your company would be able to go in and see, when you open the credit card or whatever it is and find the
Absolutely.
discrepancy.
Absolutely. I got my team is phenomenal. So nah, we gonna do it. But like I said, they don't make it easy. They don't make it easy. They gonna fight too, and nothing's a promise, but we do a great job of getting results. So
Yeah.
they hate companies like us.
Right. Okay. So, single mothers, we often juggle numerous responsibilities. So, how can improving our credit impact our ability to provide for our families?
You saying as a single mother?
Right.
Well, to me, female single mother, like it's a must. Like it's a must. It's like that's just not common sense because I know life happens and things like that, but you have to because at the end of the day, y'all, I grew up as a single, and my mom was a single parent with me, so I know what she been through and what she went through with me. First of all, as a female, Ray, I don't know, if individual has a female, a male, or a boy or a girl, but
Right.
a lot of these females raising boys, that's
Yeah.
already hard. That's already hard without fathers. You
That's
see
why
what
we
I'm
here, Ma.
saying? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So it's already hard for y'all. Y'all got so much responsibility. My wife got so much responsibility and she got me. So
Right.
so I just imagine somebody out there by themselves, and then a lot of times you the females may not have a mother or a father to help them. Maybe
Right.
that relationship was strained in some capacity. So you really out here in this crazy world by yourself trying to raise one, two, three. I know a couple of my clients have 5 kids.
Yeah.
Okay. So and then you trying to do it with bad credit. It's
Right.
like it's stacked against you. It's almost, I ain't gonna say it's impossible because y'all are, y'all do y'all thing. Y'all do y'all thing. So y'all gonna do it, but when you fix your credit, that make life everything that make everything that much easier.
Yeah. So it's like, moms, I know you're busy out there, like it's the grind, but if you just stop and take a little time to get your credit right, it's gonna fix it for the future. So just a little time out of the situation. So,
And that's the thing, and that's what I say too, Jennifer. Is basically like I tell my wife this all the time. We gonna spend the money regardless.
yeah.
Regardless, you're gonna spend the money. Whether it's getting your hair done, whether it's going out to eat, whether it's going on a trip, a vacation. I know we all need that, but putting money to aside just for your credit and or studying it too, and also not just being afraid of it. Look at it. Come to a company like us. Every company ain't good as us, and that's fine. But we do an excellent job at what we do. So, and you can also fix it yourself, but it just take time.
Right. Okay. Which a lot of us single moms don't have, so that's why you here, right?
There you go, and there you have it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So a lot of times we feel stuck financially as single moms. So how can you, or what advice do you have? Like, what would be the first step towards getting unstuck financially?
I think the first step is to look at your credit.
Okay.
You got to look at your credit, like I said. And I don't blame nobody because I was there. I didn't even want to look at the credit. I already knew what it was. But then once actually, I went to a credit repair company and they fixed it. But then I messed it up again. But you just don't want to look at it.
Right.
So that's first, look at it. Learn about it. Everything is on YouTube, everything. And then
Yeah.
I got my free ebook too, and I'll give you the website to that soon.
Okay.
Free ebook. That'll tell you everything you need.
Okay. And I'll
So
have the link for y'all too.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So
okay. For sure. So the first steps would be to actually stop being scary and look at your credit report. You already did it, so you might as well look at it and then, grab the ebook, do your research, get the tips and tricks. Okay.
definitely.
So can you share a success story of a single mom that you've helped with your company? We need some motivation here.
Yeah, I had a, this was kind of one of my, not my first client, but in that batch of like first 15, 20 clients. And she was a referral from somebody in the basketball world because I'm in the basketball world.
Okay.
And she had, when I say the worst credit I didn't even know you can even have that bad of a credit because my
It was.
thing was my thing was like how does companies keep giving you credit? Like it's no way. She had to have probably, I mean, with all three credit agencies, she probably had like 60 collections. Like it was with the inquiries and it was very, very bad. But I was like, okay, cool, and I had to make sure I was transparent with her. Like, I don't know, what we gonna be able to do, but we
Right.
gonna do it. But I just so this was probably 11 months ago, and I
Uh,
just got I talked to her probably 3 weeks ago, and she was crying, and we got most of the stuff off. We got a lot of it off. It's probably like a good 5 or 6 things on there,
that's
but
it
it's
after 60.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
it's fun.
and she was scared because she worked for a bank. So
Oh, okay.
in the banking industry, like your credit supposed to be a certain,
Yeah.
uh, supposed to be a certain like score or whatever. So the fact that we were able to do what we do, she was crying and she was just always she always talked about her kids and things like that, and she
Yeah.
just thought it was over with. She thought not her life was over, but she thought that it was a wrap, and we was able to walk all that debt down and get that off, and now she like at a six, she was like at a 480, like she was bad. So now she like at a 670, and she feeling good, and we still got rounds to go, so because we gonna keep fighting, it don't matter. So it could take, I had a client that took 1 month, I had a client that take 13 months, so
Wow.
you know
You said D1 credit will walk down the debt
we
on
gonna
on
walk
your
it down.
report. You're gonna walk
Yeah,
it down.
we gonna
Okay.
walk we gonna walk it down. Definitely, definitely.
All right, for sure. So besides your ebook coming out, are there any tools or resources besides, you mentioned the YouTube? What other resources are available out there for ongoing financial education?
Well, I mean, so if you anybody out there, follow me at on Instagram, D1Hen, D1 underscore HEN underscore. If you go to my Instagram, it's loaded with tons of value. It's just me going through different tips and tricks and things like that to help you get things off your credit report, the different laws. It's just so much that I did in the last year and a half just to help people out. So you could just kind of just go through all my different reels and things like that. And
Hmm.
that right there help you out along with the ebook. And then just get obsessed with the credit, just kind of get upset with the credit. And then follow me on my YouTube page. So I'm about to start coming out. I'm about to come out with something. Uh, this is gonna be called Credit Tip Tuesdays. So
Okay.
every Tuesday I'm gonna have I'm gonna be on there and I'm gonna just kind of shed some light on some different credit tips, and I'm gonna make sure I'm staying consistent with that. So
Yeah,
I'm doing some real big things. So you know
that's good. Good. Okay, absolutely. So, all right, what would you say is the worst thing you can do to affect your credit negatively?
the worst thing,
Yeah.
um, payment history, payment history.
Payment
So that's
history.
having late
That holds
payments.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
having late
Okay.
payments. You know, um,
Okay.
yeah, having late payments. That's one of the biggest things because that's like 35% of your credit score right there is payment history.
Okay.
So yeah, payment history, and then also credit utilization. I think that's 30. So payment history 35, and then utilization is 30 right there. So if you got late payments, that's gonna drop it right there. And a lot of my clients, they just, so what happened was with the student loans. I don't know if you saw that on the news. A lot of the time, like with Trump,
Hmm.
so people had like 750, 760 credit scores within 1 month. They all reported 90-day late, and they scores went from 760, 780 to 540, 520. People were about to get houses and everything, and you know, because they reported late. They reported all of them late because they were in deferment. So
Right.
so
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So pay it on time. So my main thing with that is, like, if you got credit cards or anything like that, put it on automatic payment where they automatically pull it out. That's a must. That's a
Yeah.
that's a trick for y'all right there. Just make sure you do that. That's a must because you're not gonna be able to keep up with every credit card, with everything, especially with the single mothers. Y'all got so much going on. Y'all got football practice, basketball practices,
Yeah.
things going. Not to mention if you want to have a little fun or something like that, you're not gonna remember every credit card date and to pay this or pay that. So if you
Right.
put it on automatic payment, hey, that'll be great right there.
Yeah. And just being able to do that is a great financial step because a lot of people aren't even able to do the auto pay situation and mess their whole
Yeah,
bank account up. So that's,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yup.
Okay. So almost done, but I got a few more questions on our
Okay.
rapid fire round.
Okay.
Okay, so just answer with the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
So what's one word that describes your mission?
Um, Helping people get to the next level in their life. Helping people to get, to that next level. Everybody want to get to that next level. With that next level is different devils, but everybody want to get to that next level. If they stay in an apartment, they want to get to a house. If they got, what we call back in the day a hoopty, they want to get them a brand new house or things like that. So just getting my clients to that next level in their life.
Next level, level up. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's a book or resource that changed your perspective on finances?
I would say Buy Back Your Time by Steve Martell. And
Steve
that was
Martin.
yep. It was basically no, Dan Martell. My fault, Dan
Damn.
Martell. Yeah, Dan
I
Martell.
edited it out of school.
Yeah, and what it is, it just teach you about how valuable time is. And
Mm,
even when you start making a little money, some things you just pay for. Like for instance, as a single mother, you start making a little bit of money, you may not need to clean your own house. You may have somebody come and clean your
right.
house because that may take an hour or 2 hours out of your day. You could
Yep.
take that 2 hours and pay whatever, pay that to somebody, and that 2 hours can go to your kids.
Yeah, exactly. And to
So
yourself.
it's just things like that. Or to yourself, you can go get a massage, you can go do whatever.
There you go.
Yeah, do something like that. That book taught me a lot about that, and a lot on the business side. As far as hiring staff and getting staff to do that, because I got people to kind of run the business for me now.
Okay, dope. That's good. So, what's your favorite motivational quote?
Probably. Let me think. You can't build a business bigger than you build yourself.
Okay, I like that. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. So that's just basically me constantly working on myself, constantly getting better. Uh, I still like to call myself a little, kind of young, but it's about getting better. We got to get better. We can't, a lot of times we just sit back and say, "Well, that's just me."
Right.
No, you can. How about changing?
Yeah,
How about changing?
exactly.
Or putting one step ahead and doing something different and getting disciplined and doing things like that instead of just saying, well, that's me. My mama was like that. My daddy was like that. So I'm gonna be like that. No,
So
no.
you just gonna keep it going,
You gonna
okay?
keep it going, huh? And then your kids gonna have that, and then it's gonna keep. How about stopping it with you?
Yeah, and it's gonna get worse. So you just
Yeah, that's just like smoking. It's like smoking. Your mama smoke, your daddy smoke, and then you like, well, I might as well smoke. Okay, your kids might as well smoke.
yeah, pretty
So,
much.
yeah,
Better have good health insurance.
yeah.
Okay, so what's one habit that contributes to your success?
Probably my discipline. My
Okay.
discipline. That's. I would say that's my superpower. I think God give us superpowers, and it's things that just come second nature to us. And my
Mm,
discipline is that. I think also doing 4 years in the United States Marine Corps really has helped that.
yeah.
That's really helped me, and and it's working like crazy now. And I challenge myself. I challenge myself to do different things for 30 days, for 60 days. I start fasting. So it's just, especially when you get into the business world, it's so crazy. Like you have to be disciplined. You better be disciplined, because you doing so much and it's so much money involved. and your reputation involved, you can't just stay up all night. You can't drink all night. You can't be smoking and even if that's what you used to do, you got to stop it. So
Yeah,
it's just things like that. So discipline, that's my superpower.
that's good advice. So every time I have somebody that served in the military, I ask them the same question for our single mothers with sons. Do you recommend that as a path for our sons to take? Do you think that experience will help them with discipline and, um, just being a more well-rounded young man? Because I've got answers from all across the board, so I
Yeah.
just want to know what you think.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because you got to understand, like, you, first of all, when you in Chicago, even, and not just in Chicago, like the suburbs is just as bad as Chicago,
What's
and
up?
then, yeah, and even if you in the suburbs, you go into the city anyway. So I grew up in the suburbs, but we stayed in the city. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? We stayed in the city, going to parties and doing things like that.
Yeah.
So you see, if you look at the news, I don't watch the news no more, but it's somebody getting killed every day on a daily basis. It's war on these streets, and you're not even getting paid for it. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? So I think I definitely feel like you should do 4 years of something, whether it's college, but I love what the military does for young kids, especially young black kids, especially young black males, but females also. And it gives you that kickstart. So if you want to stay in, you got a career for life. If you don't, it gives you that boost and you come out with that discipline and things like that. But don't get it twisted. It's things that can go wrong in there, but
Yeah.
that's just the chance you take. But nah, I would definitely recommend it.
Okay. Do you
Yeah.
think it matters what president we have in office?
I,
That's a
I
loaded question.
yeah, I mean, not
You don't
really.
have to answer it,
No,
but
it is not really because things going. You got to understand. I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer in God. So I believe that whatever God got for us, that's what it is. So Trump can't do anything. Biden or Kamala Harris or nothing. I don't feed into that. I don't feed into who's our leader like that. I don't, because all of them got their strength. All of them got their weaknesses. But I think
absolutely.
we can't, like, how much does Trump really affect you? You know what I'm saying? Or Biden. Even though he got my loans off, but that was cool. But other than that, you
But
know,
just getting ready for war, like the reason why I asked is because, as a single mom, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna send my son off to the military, but then you see all this turmoil in the political arena. You're like, I'm not sending him. They about to go to war. So
yeah.
that's my reason to ask him. But
Now I understand that, but then at the end of the day, he go downtown and they shoot, or he go to the club because if he 18, 19, 20, you think he definitely ain't finna stay in no house on no Friday night. He didn't graduated from high school. He ain't staying in the house. He out.
my son is at home now. He
You
probably
think so?
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they gonna be in them streets because you gotta think about it. Think about when you was 18, 19, 20, 21. You was
yeah,
out in them streets. You was in the streets. I know I was. I was in the streets. So uh he probably gonna be, I ain't saying what he gonna do. I know you raised a great child, but
no, yeah, I get
you
what you're saying.
yeah, you could just be at the skating rink chilling, doing what you're doing and take a straight bullet.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah.
All right. So, what advice would you give your younger self? What would you tell little Ahmad?
It's funny because that's my son name. Little Mike. That's
Okay.
what we call him. He a division.
Okay.
He the smallest Division 1 athlete, Division 1
Really?
basketball player
That's
in college
good. Okay.
basketball. Yep.
Little Ahmad out there killing.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So he played for UIC too. So this coming season, he's the starting point guard at UIC. Make sure y'all check him out.
Really?
But
Congrats on that. That's dope.
appreciate it. But no, I would say I probably I just lost my dad probably like 5 months ago. So I
Sorry.
would say I would have appreciate it. I would have more intimate talks with my dad, you know,
Yeah.
because I didn't really grow up with him. He stayed in Milwaukee, so we used to go there. I used to go there like during the summers, every now and then, but we were still kept in contact and things like that. So even when he passed, I used to take my kids over there, into Milwaukee, and we'd go to Milwaukee Bucks games and things like that. But when he passed, I don't feel like I had a lot of those intimate conversations and pick his brain like I should have. When somebody's 70, he was 71 when he died. Like that's 71 or at least like 65 years worth of, knowledge that I probably could have got from him and wisdom, but I didn't take full advantage of it.
Okay, that's cool. So thank you for doing the rapid fire round. I appreciate it. So we're gonna be closing up soon. So what, if anything, would you say to single mothers? It doesn't necessarily have to be about credit repair. It can be credit repair, but what would you tell us if you could say one thing?
I mean, I would say first, we commend y'all. I know I commend y'all. I commend y'all on what y'all doing. It's so hard raising these kids out here. And then not to mention you all trying to have something for yourself going on. And it's crazy. It's really crazy. So I would say stay disciplined. Make sure you focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Like I know the kids. I know them kids,
but you doing right. You saying
yeah,
right.
But still focus on yourself because at the end of the day, what happens is the kids is gonna leave. And your son or your daughter gonna be 18 and they gonna go to college or wherever they go, and you done put your whole life aside for them, and now you don't even have an identity. You don't even have an identity, and then you're looking for a man, you're looking for a husband, and you don't even know who you are. So
now you're all in their business.
Yeah. So and that's the thing. So that's what's also I think it's important for you all, for the single mothers, to fix their credit, so you don't have to depend on guys. And I think that's what happens is the fact that the guy's bringing in, he may be getting a little money in whatever capacity it is, he getting a little money, but he treating you like crap. Whatever that is, or not treating you the way you supposed to be treated, but you got bad credit and he getting money. So you like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna just take that. Once you get your financial situation together, you ain't gotta take nothing from nobody.
Exactly.
And then you can actually help people. And then now you find a man, you gotta ask him, what's your credit score? Because I got a 750. You telling a man I got a 750. If you what's your goals? Things like that, and then you're gonna attract that. That's what you're gonna attract. But if you got bad credit and you're not holding him accountable for what he got, then you starting off the relationship bad, and that's what ends relationships, is cheating and money. Those two things, cheating and money. And that's what I take it from somebody who's been married for 19 years. Is cheating and money. So the one thing I haven't done is cheated. So not and the money wasn't like the way we wanted it, but we were in it together. We were like, all right, it's messed up. As long as we get this boy to school, to the AAU tournament, whatever, we'll figure it out later. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Man, this has been an excellent episode. Everybody, don't wait on a man. Don't settle because your credit ain't right. That was even heartbreaking for you to say. I'm like, oof, don't do that, lady.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
no question.
Yep. So hit up Ahmad, D1 Hen. I'm going to make sure you guys have all of his contact information. So thank you so much for coming on today, sharing all of your insight and empowering our listeners with the valuable information. And, for those interested in learning more or seeking assistance with credit repair, visit d1creditrepair.com. And what's your IG again? I'm going to post it.
IG is D1 underscore Hen, HEN underscore. And there, in my bio, you can hit the link, and that's my free ebook right there. You can get that. Just put your name and email in, and that'll be the free ebook. Download that, and they get all the credit tips you need right there. So if you don't download that, you are wrong. It's free. Like
you are wrong, lady.
Like the young kids say, it's for the free.
It's for the free. $3.99.
Yeah, you can't beat it. So do that, and follow me on Instagram. Facebook is Ahmad Henderson, and it's not a business page. This is just me. You will see me with my kids and the things that I like to do, just so y'all see I'm a real person.
All right, we can humanize you. That's cool.
Absolutely.
All right. All right, cool. So remember, taking control of your credit is a powerful step forward to building the legacy that you desire for your family, ladies. Thank you so much, Ahmad. Hit him up. And that's been another wonderful episode of Raising Kings, and I'll see you guys next time.
Appreciate you, Jennifer.
All right. Thanks, Ahmad.
Yep.
All right.